Hello everyone, welcome back to Life's Unfair, my Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous playthrough series. Today we're going to be visiting our old friend Jernaugh at Chili Creek. Let's see what he's getting up to here. So last we checked in on him, he was a priest. He joined us briefly in the Inquisition, but now he told us to pay him a visit at Chili Creek. So we've finally decided to make our way over here. Oh, what is it? Okay, dead direwolf, very nice. That doesn't bode well. Can't camp here, enemies are nearby, wonderful. That's never a good sign. Let's move over to the side because we do have to camp because we're exhausted. Yeah.
To the far south of Garand at the very
Ember's voice is so adorable. Alright. Oh, it's nighttime. Great. Let's see what's over here. In the river. Nope, nothing. Who is that? Is that Jernaugh? Oh, wow, okay. Well, hi Jernaugh. Let's talk to him.
Jernaugh walks thoughtfully around the grove. He pauses in front of a few trees, lingering there for some time. He seems to be examining something carefully. At the sound of your footsteps, he turns around abruptly. But the anxious expression on his face quickly gives way to an amiable smile. "Commander, it's so good to see you. It seems you found time to visit our quiet backwater after all." I could be mistaken, but it looked like you were frightened by my arrival." "Oh no, you startled me, that's all. It's my overactive imagination. I still can't get used to living in such a small village. The town where I grew up was a good deal larger, and it was located near a trade route, so there were always lots of new faces and plenty of people bustling around. Here, though, it's different. The moment you step outside the village, you're all alone. You can walk for miles in any direction with only the birds and animals for company. This is, of course, what the hell was that? The way Erastil teaches us to live, but truth be told, it still makes me feel somewhat uncomfortable." "Why were you looking at those trees?" "See for yourself." He points at one of the branches, and among the leaves you notice a small doll made of grass and seaweed tied with a blue ribbon. "I keep finding them here in the grove. I think it's some kind of local ritual. I've asked the villagers to tell me what it means, but they won't give me an answer. I just don't understand the reason for all this secrecy." "How do you like living in the village?" "I'm getting used to the way of things. This guy can't even heal, if I remember correctly. I still get the occasional sidelong glance from the locals, but that's not surprising. After all, I'm just some stranger who decided to show up without an invitation and settle down in the village. The church warned us about this. Such caution is to be expected at first. I just have to do my best to earn their trust. I heal, I purify the water, and I give blessings. Sooner or later, they will accept me as one of their..." This guy's going to be sacrificed to their gods or something, it sounds like. It's like a Wicker Man situation. It's so quiet here. War makes you forget what peace feels like. I understand. My time in Canabras gave me a small taste of war. I only had to live through it for a few days, but I know the horrors I witnessed will haunt my nightmares for years to come. Cannot imagine how hard it is for those like yourself, soldiers who have given their lives to this cause." The priest placed a hand on his heart. "You've chosen to fight there in order to protect our peaceful and quiet life here, and I thank you from the bottom of my heart." "What do the locals think of Erastil?" "They're indifferent. They're pragmatic people. They don't have time for theology. If old Deadeye helps them survive, that's good enough for them. Some priests get overzealous with sermons. They demand that people pray, observe all the rituals, make sacrifices. Well, that might be happening pretty soon, bruh. And then those priests, all holy and pious, are surprised when locals kick them out of their village, right into the nearest ditch." The priest laughs. "I was taught differently. First, you have to prove your worth. You have to show them why you and your deity are useful. It's only after they've begun to trust you and start asking questions about your faith that you can really share your beliefs. Then you can tell them all about old Deadeye and his teachings." "Well then, will you show me around the village?" "Of course, let's go. You'll get to meet the locals, see how we live. Maybe you'll even manage to get some peace and quiet, a temporary respite from the hardships of war." "Well, it doesn't seem like it." "Don't be offended if you get some weird looks. In this remote village, people have never seen an Aasimar before. When I first told them about you, I could barely manage to convince them you don't glow and can't fly." Well, it said there are enemies nearby. So
guide us.
Oh, this is... Oh, my God. Are you... That seems a little bit out of the league of these three bumble... Are you kidding me? A Hydra? They fought bigger Hydras than this? Excuse me? Oh, it's only level 5, what the heck?
You're irrelevant.
I fought bigger dogs than this, bruh. Sorry, I couldn't see. Oh, well. That'll teach you to mess with us. A man with green eyes and broad shoulders of a swimmer and calloused hands of a fisherman shakes his fist at the piece of motionless carcass. Something's got 'em all worked up. That's the second time they've crawled out this month. Oh, let 'em come. A woman, her eyes the same shade of green as a fisherman, smiles at you. It's not the first time and it won't be the last. But what's it matter? They can't hurt us and we can use their hides to make a lot of waterproof coats and cloaks. Markyll, Malessa, I'd like to introduce you to someone. This is Razorfiend, the commander of the Crusade. He's the one I told you about. Ah, a real hero in our little backwater. It's so nice of you to drop by. We've never had anyone so important come to visit. Heroic acts are important, but sometimes it's good to leave the front lines, talk to ordinary people, living ordinary lives. Anyway, welcome to Chili Creek. Hydras are usually far more dangerous. That beast was not at its full strength. I can tell you have an eye for such things. Well, of course he does. He's the commander of the Crusade. He probably could have told you all that with his eyes shut. Malessa smiles at you. It's all thanks to her mother, Icy Real. She takes care of the children. Won't let anyone hurt them. She fills our nets with fish and drives away monsters. These guys seem a lot nicer than I thought they were going to be. That's right, and if she doesn't drive the beasts away, she'll weaken them, so we can kill them and harvest their hides. Icy Real, who's that? She's right here. Markyll nods towards the river. Did you think this was a selling? No, it'd take you half a day's rowing before you reach that river. It's big, to be sure, and very important. The Selin flows through at least a dozen countries, but where would the great Selin be if it wasn't fed by thousands of little streams and creeks, such as our dear Icy Real? The people of Chili Creek hold the river in great reverence. The priest's observation is matter of fact, but you notice his voice sounds a bit strained. How can we not? Our whole lives are built around the river, from the wedding wreath we send down its stream to the funeral boats that float away on the waters when the time comes. Our mother Icy Real feeds us, gives us water, protects us. With a kind smile, Markyll casts a sidelong glance at the frowning priest. The gods are far away, but our Icy Real is right here, so we treat her with respect. Okay, yeah, these guys sound pretty reasonable. The two of you look very much alike. I assume you're related? Right you are. Markyll ruffles Malessa's hair. She laughs and tweaks his nose. She's my little sister. Takes after her granny. May her memory never fade. She was always restless, couldn't sit still, and Malessa is just the same. She's always up to something. And took after our grandpa. May the river silk be his feather bed. You're as brave as he was, and just as stubborn. The two of you look very confident. When you were giving orders to the other villagers during the fight, are you in charge here? Well, how should I put this? Our village is too small for anyone to be in charge. We just happen to know a thing or two about using a weapon. So if some nasty creature comes crawling out of the river, we give the orders. When it comes to fighting or fixing nets, we'll be the ones following orders. We're not an army, and there are no officers here. We all live together, solve our problems together, and serve Icy Real together. Well, that was Malessa. Whoops. Although, truth be told, it's only been in the last few years that people have really started listening to us. Before that, villagers kept to themselves and no one wanted to go poking their nose into anyone else's business. When we first came up with the idea to start trading on the river, the other villagers stubbornly dug in their heels. But after money and goods began to flow into the village, they changed their minds. Yes, the village has been growing. We're getting to see all sorts of things we've only heard about before. The year before last, we had a fair and people came all the way from Canaris to attend. Then a priest came, and we'd never seen one of those before in these parts, and now, who'd have thought the commander of the crusade has decided to pay us a visit? And not just a commander, but a child of heaven's blood. Around these parts, we only hear about folk born with the blessing of the upper planes and fairy tales. Even if elsewhere in Mendale there are lots of you, as people say. What are those cross dolls that hang from the trees in the grove? Shadow passes over Markyll's face and he looks away. There's nothing much to tell, really, in old local custom. It's just a ritual, Malessa adds in a low voice. No one seems willing to share any further details with you. How is life? They seem really nice, and I don't get any evil vibes from them at all. But maybe they're adhering to some custom that they don't necessarily believe in anymore after being exposed to the outside world, but they're still like stubbornly stuck to it. That's my impression right now. But could be wrong. How's life in the village now that you've got a priest? Not much has changed. Markyll shrugs and smiles amiably. He's a good lad. He does some healing. Does he? Never bothers us with sermons. Why, he's even learning to fish in his spare time. He also knows a lot of songs, and when he sings, it makes you want to sit and listen. Malessa smiles archly at the priest, and he blushes. The whirlwind is not far away. Have you ever been attacked by demons? No, we never seen any. Our mother Icy Real keeps us safe. She would never let such abominations get near us. I have to go. I don't like either of you die. Back to the front. Malessa shakes her head sadly. I can't even imagine the nightmarish creatures you have to fight there. Have a safe journey and swift victory.
After that, just running around, looting up some stuff. Those are some nice gloves, right? +2 to persuasion. I'm not wearing gloves, so they're perfect for main character here, Razor Fiend. Running around, looting the village stores. I'm sure they're going to appreciate that come winter. Nothing too interesting here. Those gloves are definitely the best thing that I pick up in this entire place, I think. Talk to Jernaugh again, and for some reason his conversations are reset, and then go talk to these two again.
Going. But let's see, the latest news from our little village. Well, we went fishing, caught some rough. They were big too, nice and plump, fat as piglets. I tell you, what else weevils have eaten through our carrots? They gobbled up everything down to the last stalk. Then the other day, old Bragg went up to fix his roof and took a hard fall. If it hadn't been for Jernaugh and his prayers, he'd have kicked the bucket by now. No doubt about that. You must think it ridiculous to call any of this news. Also, Jernaugh is downright wonderful. I don't know, maybe his prayers are working, or maybe he just has a lucky touch, but whenever he blesses me, I always catch a boatload of fish. Also, he sings like an... Enough already, Markyll frowns. Jernaugh this, Jernaugh that. It's all I ever hear you talk about. Uh-oh, is this a Sweet Home Alabama moment? Do you worship other deities here? Faith, religion, deities? With all due respect to Jernaugh, no one here has time for such things. Maybe people in the city can go around singing prayers and listening to sermons, but in a backwater place like this, we're just doing what we can to survive. There's only one provider and protector for us, our mother, Icy Real. Markyll nods towards the river. Yeah, the river doesn't care about prayers or sacrifices, and if Icy Real wants something in exchange for her help, she just takes it without asking. Malessa stares pensively at a piece of driftwood as it's carried away by the current. Two of you... Okay. I already know this. How's life in the village? Okay, they told us that. Okay. That one was cross dolls. Still not willing to tell us. Okay, nope, haven't been a... Okay, when Crusaders are near the whirlwind, they often experience nightmares when they sleep. Do you have trouble with nightmares here? Don't know what you're talking about. If I'm honest, I sleep like a dead man. Nothing to complain about. I have to go, okay.
After that, well, I do opt to attack them just to see what happens. I wanted... Because I'm not getting sinister vibes from them, but the grass doll and all that stuff. I felt like this was kind of a Wicker Man situation where Jernaugh's going to be, I'm going to come back here months later and find him having been sacrificed to Icy Real or burned to death in a wicker man or something like that. Even though the villagers honestly seem really nice. But I just wanted to see what happened if I attacked. I wanted to see if they transformed into demons and then just annihilated me. But nope, they're just people, and they just die normal people deaths. So I run around cleaning up all the trash, remaining trash in the zone. I'm like, oh, well, this is pretty easy. Just a bunch of animals and wolves and stuff like that. Nothing too crazy. And so, yeah, these Megaloceros do prove to be a little bit tough, but I take them down eventually. And then we run into this, right? I'm like, oh my god, another plagued Smilodon, but it's just one of them. Maybe we can take it. There aren't 3 of them. So I go for it. But then this bear shows up right after the Smilodon killed Razor Fiend in 1 hit. And then there's another Smilodon too, and I'm like, oh my god, are you kidding me, Owlcat Games? 2 level 14s and a level 10 bear. So I decide the terrain in this place is there's just so much variation that surely there is somewhere that I can exploit to kill these things. I really do want to kill them, so initially I try using the village. But that just results in the death of the villagers. I'm like, well, will they help me? Will they even help me? And if they do help me, are they invulnerable? And yeah, they do help you, but they die. So I'm like, well, that's not going to work. So let's look around for somewhere we can teleport to that they can't get to. But there really is nowhere, right? I'm running all over the map. I discover there's a overturned boat there, capsized boat. Just looking for somewhere I can teleport to that is inaccessible to melee enemies, but there doesn't seem to be anywhere, right? I try there. No, doesn't work. Doesn't look like there really is. So my next idea here is to use the terrain above them, right? So I stand in this corner, I shoot them, and I know that they're going to have to come up to me. Which means they're going to have to run all the way around, and I can use that to my advantage because I can reset aggro. If it goes, if they take too long to reach me, they'll drop aggro. So I'm trying to shoot them, and I make a mistake, right? I have everyone's AI on, and they're shooting at them for too long, and that means that they stay in aggro for too long, and that means they always reach me, even with entanglement down, and so I finally get it right. I figure out I can shoot them and not pull aggro. And then I manage to reset it, and I save, and I don't save. I reset it, and I'm waiting for them to walk back so that I can save and then shoot them again and just keep doing that, right? But they never come back, and I'm like, what the heck is going on here? And so I walk my doggo out, right, because I'm not sure what's going on here, and would you look at that? The plagued Smilodon is stuck there. It's just walking against the wall there. And I'm like, what is that going to stay stuck there if I enter combat? So look at this. Look at what we managed to do. Okay. This is pretty crazy, right? So we're just shooting it. We're shooting it. Shooting it, and it's not getting unstuck. It's stuck there, right? But if you guys remember, it isn't just this thing, right? The bear is there, and you can see it's inching its way closer to us. There's another Smilodon, which I don't know where that is at this point, and the bear is coming, and I'm like, oh god. Well, the bear's only level 10, so maybe Razor Fiend can tank it, so let's switch him over to melee. Let's get him ready to tank this thing, hopefully, while everyone else focuses down the Smilodon. Come on, let's do this, Razor Fiend, you got this! Everyone switch over to the bear. Let's take it down ASAP, because the Smilodon isn't really a threat at this point, but the bear definitely is a threat. So let's take it down. We got this. It's just one bear. One level 10 bear. We can do this. Right, I'm not fully buffed, but... Oh god. Yeah. Yeah, so that doesn't work, obviously. Maybe if I was fully buffed, it might be possible, potentially, to do that. But we're like, okay, so that's not going to work. We need a better solution here. We need to take down that Smilodon before the bear gets to us. That is really the only way this is going to work. So I fully buff everybody up here, right? So look at this. Fully buff everybody up. Get ready to tank the bear. I still die. Right, so it's back to the drawing board again. But we're staying fully buffed up, right? So that gives us a better chance. We are in a... And the Smilodon, the most important part of this is the Smilodon is still stuck there. And you can see there, we kill the bear, but the second Smilodon comes up and kills us. And then we die. And then you could see there, I moved the dog into the corner, and then the Smilodon got unstuck. So this is a very finicky kind of situation. The Smilodon being stuck there depends on a few things. It depends on your positioning. It depends on entanglement being down. So if entanglement fades, the Smilodon gets unstuck. If you move into a weird position, the Smilodon gets unstuck. So it's very finicky. But it is something that you can consistently do. So if you watch a little later, I get the second Smilodon stuck. So it isn't just a fluke, it's something that's fully replicatable, and I intend to use this maybe at other points, maybe on the fight with 3 Smilodons. There might be somewhere that I can get them stuck. But I just discovered this interesting bug here, which enabled me to take them down, right? So you can see the bear and the other Smilodon haven't come this time. It's just this Smilodon, and boom, we take him down. And that's it. We head to the corner and we save. Alright, we're trying to get in stealth here. Get in stealth. Come on, come on, come on. Let's get in stealth. They put away their weapons, which is a sign that we're pretty much good to go. And then we save. Nice! So, yeah, we're able to get everyone into stealth, which is very, very good. And then we decide to go exploring because the bear and the other Smilodon didn't come, and I can't see them anywhere. I can't shoot them, so I'm trying to figure out where they are. So I send the old dog. Man, the dogs are so useful because they can't die. That is like the most important thing ever. You can use them as scouts. You can use them, and well, would you look at that? They're both down there waiting for me, and they're in stealth. So the only way to pull them is either to drop a CC on their head or to just walk up to them. So we have to drop a CC on their faces, and then the bear comes up, and we're like, okay, we need to do something here. We need to re-stealth here. We did get some nice shots on it. We got the bear down to about half health that time, but now the dog is dead, unfortunately. So now we need to drop another CC.
Cover me, all right?
And so this time we decide, okay, we got to focus the bear. We have to get the bear down before it gets to like that corner, the corner where the Smilodon can get stuck. And if we are able to do that, then we don't have to worry about tanking the bear, because I don't think the bear can get stuck. And there, we get it down. So the bear goes down, and now we just have to get the Smilodon stuck. So after this, we're like, okay, let's save. And yeah, we're able to get in the corner and save. Thankfully, the other Smilodon doesn't make it up. And so the idea here is to either take the Smilodon out or to get it stuck. And so there you could see we got it stuck, but because the entanglement failed, the entanglement expired, it was able to run up. So getting it stuck depends on your positioning and depends on entanglement being there. So it's a lot of me trial and error to figure out how to get it stuck again. And I obviously have to refresh entanglement. And this is what we end up doing. This is what I end up doing to get through and get it stuck again. Right, I just do what I did to get the first one stuck. I move everybody into that bottom corner there. I cast entanglement. I refresh it right before we even pull. And then, well, not before we pull. The thing's right, we saved, so the thing was up there. And then we just hope against all hopes that it'll get stuck. And here, it doesn't seem like it got stuck. Right, it came up and it was about to attack us. And that's actually really not good for us, but look what happens here. Look at this. right? It didn't get stuck that time, but it got stuck when we moved up. So it didn't get stuck when we were all standing in the corner, but when we were standing by this tree here, it re-aggroed us and got stuck. And so yeah, after that, you know, pretty standard fight. As long as it stays stuck, you're good, right? It's literally like shooting an unmoving target that can't fight back. Right, there's nothing it can do. This higher level magic missile, I will say, is amazing. I've upgraded it. With meta magic on Nenyo, and it's spectacular. It not only does it do area of effect, but it hits like 4 times. And yeah, it's amazing. So yeah, I'm gonna skip through this because there's nothing much to see here. Just shoot an immobile target. But that's how you do it. That's how you take out these 2 Smilodons and the bear. Or that's how I do it. Because my party sucks. Yeah, just... I guess I don't know if Smite Evil stacks. I cast both Smite Evils on it, and they both show up in its character sheet there, but I'm not sure if both of the effects stack. I doubt it. I doubt they stack. Right, we're able to take it down. Not much of a challenge there, thankfully. I'll take an easy win. But that's gonna be it from me today, guys. Thanks for joining me. I will see y'all in the next one. I'm actually not sure what the next episode is going to be because this is actually the end of the footage that I have. I haven't played in a few days, so I'm gonna have to figure all that out. But yeah, thanks for joining me. See you in the next one.